Coming up on WUFT's First at 5, sitting high on the list of sexually transmitted diseases, the counties in north central Florida that health officials say have the highest transmission rate.
Plus, a local baseball coach off the job due to an FDLE investigation. We spoke to parents about their concerns for students.
And colder air has set in after a front moved through. The UF weather team is tracking our next warm-up. First at 5 starts right now.
First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Alachua is among the top 3 counties in the state with the highest sexually transmitted infections. This is First at 5. I'm Chris Will.
And I'm Bailey Korinek. The data is according to new information from the CDC. WUFT's Natasha Holt is live at the UF Student Health Center. Natasha, you combed through the data, which is broken down by the disease.
New CDC data shows that Alachua County takes the number 3 spot out of the 67 counties in Florida for cases for STIs. Alachua County ranked below Gadsden and Leon counties, which took the number 1 and 2 spots in the state. The ranking is determined by the number of chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis cases per 100,000 people. STIs are those which can be cured as opposed to viral infections such as HIV and herpes. Although these infections can be resolved with antibiotics, they can cause other health problems such as pelvic inflammatory disease and infertility. CDC data shows Florida is following a national pattern of increased diagnoses of chlamydia and syphilis with a decrease in diagnoses of gonorrhea compared to last year. Now, there may soon be a pill that could prevent the spread of these infections. A drug that was originally used to treat anthrax is now being prescribed for an off-label use that would stop STIs before they are spread or result in symptoms. Reporting live in Gainesville, Natasha Holt, WUFT News.
New information in a Gainesville shooting investigation we first brought to you Monday. Officers say the victim died from his injuries. Investigators say late Sunday they were called to the shooting near Southeast 17th Drive. There they found the victim, 20-year-old Calvin Brasby. He'd been shot in the chest. He was taken to a local hospital. Detectives are asking anyone with information about this shooting to come forward.
The head baseball coach at Santa Fe High School is on administrative leave. We've learned it's because of an FDLE investigation. WFT's Kirsten Maselka is live in the studio with limited details being released so far.
A rep with Alachua County Public Schools confirmed that Coach Travis Yekling was placed on leave Monday. That's the same day FDLE officers were seen at the school. I went out to the school today and a parent showed me an email they say came from Principal Dr. Timothy Wright. In the email, he confirmed officers with FDLE were on campus. Both the school district and Santa Fe High are being tight-lipped about the details of the investigation. We requested the police report from FDLE and are waiting to hear back. According to the email, Dr. Wright says the investigation is still active and ongoing. Yekling also served as a media specialist at Santa Fe High. The school is currently in the middle of their baseball season, and we're told coaching duties are being taken over by Chris Malfers and Patrick Treese. Live in the studio, Kirsten Maselka, WUFT News.
We're taking a live look over Paynes Prairie on our DOT cams. Today has seen cooler temperatures and mostly clear and sunny skies. As we head into the first day of spring, it looks like we'll get another wind of cold weather tonight. UF forecaster Daniella Rudolph tells us how long we can expect this to last.
That's right, Bailey. We're not feeling like spring just yet. Take a look at tonight's low, 38 degrees. Now, we set a record here in Gainesville last year at 36 degrees for the lowest temperature. So we're almost at there this evening. And also take a look at our 24-hour temperature change. The temperatures now compared to the same time yesterday. We're down quite substantially, 10 degrees here in Gainesville, a little bit less in Cedar Key, down 5 degrees. So it is going to feel relatively chilly this evening. And looking at that campus cam right now, it's looking really lovely outside at 63 degrees. If you're staying with me here in Gainesville this evening, as I said, those temperatures are really going to be getting down to feeling chilly this evening. If you're headed out on this clear evening, you definitely want to take a jacket. But taking a look ahead, we have our spring equinox, some springtime feel, and a weekend rain coming up.
The city of Gainesville activated its cold night shelter program. Individual neighbors can head to Grace Marketplace for a warm place to stay overnight. Meanwhile, families are welcome to seek shelter at St. Francis House.
Florida Republicans head to the polls to choose their next presidential candidate. This year, Florida's registered Republicans are the only voters eligible to cast a ballot. The Florida Democratic Party selected Joe Biden as its nominee and canceled the Democratic primary. Alachua County has 44,000 registered Republicans who are eligible to vote.
So one individual or just a neighborhood can really make the difference on some really important issues. And more basically, your vote is your voice. So we want to make sure people take advantage of that opportunity.
There are 6 Republican candidates on the ballot, including presumptive Republican nominee former President Donald Trump. Polls will remain open until 7 p.m.
Ocala's first female engine captain is celebrating her anniversary with Ocala Fire Rescue, and it comes right in the middle of Women's History Month. Roseanne Moreland joined Ocala Fire Rescue 35 years ago and became the station's first female engine captain in 1997. She was the first certified accelerant detection canine handler for OFR. In 2014, Moreland created a dog bite prevention education program with her canine Gracie. Outside her work with OFR, she holds degrees in fire science and emergency medicine. Moreland is also an adjunct instructor for the College of Central Florida's Criminal Justice Department.
Alachua County firefighters are getting a new home. Ground was broken at the new location for Fire Station 21. The station is being relocated to Northwest 173rd Street in Jonesville. The original building was 4,300 square feet, with the new building being more than double that size. It will include 3 drive-through bays and 10 bunk rooms. Alachua County Fire Rescue Chief Harold Diaz says this station will be a dramatic upgrade.
This station is going to provide more protection for the firefighters. It's going to provide a better, adequate space for them to reside in.
The station will cost $7 million. Construction is expected to be complete next year.
School leaders in Marion County are getting ready to break ground on a pair of elementary schools this week. Thursday morning groundbreaking ceremonies will be held in Marion Oaks and near State Road 200, close to On Top of the World. School leaders released this rendering of what both schools will look like and say they will accommodate the growing student population in southwest Marion County and feature the same design. The $47 million budget for each school will provide space for nearly 900 students in 43 classrooms. They're set to open August 2025.
With Florida's strawberry season well underway, farms across north central Florida are opening their doors for picking.
But local farmers are facing rising production costs. What they're doing to combat that cost when First at 5 returns.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
During the week of spring break, a Gainesville strawberry farm ran out of strawberries at the start of U-pick season. Now owners worry if they will be able to keep up the demand.
WUFT's Grace Dunn joins us from Crossroads Farm in Apiary to explain a challenge the local farm faces.
The Florida Farm Bureau reports that Florida ranks second as the biggest contributor to strawberry production in the nation, with a net value totaling $300 million. With the spring season underway, Crossroads Farm and Apiary strawberry picking is in high demand. The Amlong family purchased the property 2 years ago. Jacob Amlong and his family work together to care for the land and keep the bees.
People can come and kind of hang out, enjoy concessions, pick, and really just see where things grow. That's one of the things that I enjoy, is seeing kids come out, realizing where their vegetables, where their produce and stuff like that is coming from.
They plant the strawberries in October, and depending on the weather, they begin harvesting in February or March.
I want to see how far I can make it in one push.
People also come to the farm for fun activities, such as the playground, the food truck, and the gift shop. Megan Mayo and her family drove from Jacksonville to create spring break memories on the farm.
Since he was little, he has loved everything about nature, being outdoors, loves animals, plants, and so we try to do that as much as possible, go on hikes and different places so that they can just learn in more of a hands-on environment versus just in the classroom settings.
The Amlong family plans to deal with rising production costs next year and hopes consumers will not be deterred.
I just got news that our plants are going up 8 cents a plant next year. That doesn't sound like a lot, but you put 80,000 plants in the ground, plus just the plastic, the drip tape, and then other costs that go up, diesel, fuel.
Growers say that rising production costs pose a threat to local farms, impacting their profitability. As these prices escalate, the ability of Florida strawberries to remain competitive in the market is challenging. Grace Dunn, WUFT News.
A big box bookstore is preparing to open its doors in Gainesville tomorrow. The Barnes & Noble in Butler Plaza will have a ribbon cutting and grand opening ceremony at 9 a.m. New York Times bestselling author Ginny Myers-Sayin will be there signing copies of her book, One Last Breath. The bookstore is hosting story time reading sessions for kids and more book signings throughout May to celebrate the opening.
A new City of Ocala program will take high school students across the state to visit colleges and universities. Students between the ages of 14 and 18 and their parents can register for the tours for $25. They will spend the day exploring the college campuses in the city they are located in. Participants leave from the Mary Sue Rich Community Center at 7 a.m. and return at 8 p.m. In April, students will visit schools in Tallahassee, Jacksonville, and Daytona Beach. To register for a tour, visit Ocala's Recreation and Parks Department website.
Now it definitely looks like a beautiful spring afternoon. However, those temperatures are really not feeling like it just yet. When we'll be seeing those temperatures and all things spring after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Spring has officially sprung, and that means that flowers are in full bloom. Unfortunately, when flowers boom, pollen booms. So for you folks at home with allergies, unfortunately, I have some bad news for you. You're going to be seeing some high pollen tomorrow and Thursday and Friday. Now, speaking of heading out, let's take a look at tonight. If you do struggle with allergies, you definitely want to take a mask if you are headed out this evening. Those temperatures starting at around 65 degrees, but dropping down to 48 degrees. Now, it is going to get even colder than that, and I'll talk about that in just 1 second. But if you're wondering how the seasons work and why it's spring today, you can look at the Earth's axis. So it's tilted on at 23.5 degrees, and this tilt is what gives us seasons. So as the Earth rotates around the sun's rays can hit us at different angles and different intensities, thus giving us different seasons. So today is the spring equinox, of course, and that means that the Earth is going to be not forward and not away from the sun, so we're going to have equalness. So we're going to have equal day and equal night for the remainder of the day. So if you're staying with me here in Gainesville, definitely sweater weather tomorrow morning, starting out at 38 degrees. Spring is in the air at 63 around that lunchtime hour, and it is perfect picnic weather tomorrow afternoon at 72 degrees. Taking a look at the rest of North Central Florida temperatures for tomorrow, we're all sitting in those mid 70s, except for you folks in Cedar Key at 66 degrees, just a little bit cooler, but still a lovely day to head out for any spring festivities. Now, taking a look at our radar for the remainder of the week, we have this high pressure system just off the coast of us. Now, whenever I see a high pressure system, I think high in the sky, meaning we're going to have fair weather and no clouds in the sky. But we do have this low pressure system coupled with a warm front that's really going to bring that warm air up from the Gulf of Mexico, meaning that it's going to generate some storms for us here in North Central Florida. Take a look at that radar. Those storms are going to be meeting us around that 2 a.m. hour on Friday, and going into our Friday day, we can see around that lunchtime hour we have this yellow band of storms, which means it's going to be a little bit on the heavy side, so you definitely want to take an umbrella headed out the door tomorrow morning. But going into our first weekend of spring, we can see that as the cold front makes its way away from us, it's taking those storms with it, leaving us nice and clear for our Saturday and Sunday. Take a look, a little bit more of an in-depth forecast for our first weekend of spring. It's really lovely, except for some rain chances on Saturday, a stray shower here or there, so I wouldn't cancel your plans altogether right now. But of course, WFT is going to be tracking if those storms do decide to develop a little bit more for your weekend plans. We're peaking at around 63 degrees on Saturday, a nice steady day, getting a little bit warmer on Sunday. Take a look at our 7-day outlook. We can see those rain chances are really ramping up on Friday, as we saw on the radar. We're looking at those temperatures peaking nicely at 79 on Thursday, really feeling like summer, actually more than spring going into the weekend, but we're having a big dip down as that cold front makes its way toward us and past us. But taking a look at our next work week, it really is feeling lovely in 78 degrees for Monday, peaking up at 85 on Tuesday. This is going to be a little bit below and above average for the week, so we're not sitting in a normal range right now, but it is still going to be a lovely week to head out for spring.
Gator baseball takes the diamond this evening against visiting team Jacksonville University. We have live coverage from the ballpark with WUFT's Jack Meyer right after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome back. It's sports time. I'm Reighan Sheppard. I don't know about you, but clear skies, a cool spring breeze, to me, that sounds like the perfect family ballpark night. So grab your coats and scurry through that door, because Gator baseball takes the field in just over an hour. And we have a live look here of the Condren Family Ballpark. And today is a beautiful day for some baseball, as the number 6 ranked Gators prepare to host the Jacksonville Dolphins at Condren Family Ballpark. Florida is coming off a monumental series victory against the previously undefeated Texas A&M Aggies this past weekend. The Gators moved up to number 6 in this week's D1 baseball rankings as they return to the Diamond tonight to take on a struggling 7-12 Jacksonville team. Florida's offense has already been firing on all cylinders so far this season, with the team currently averaging 8.3 runs per game. Tonight may be a perfect opportunity for the Gators to keep adding on to their growing offensive momentum. Redshirt junior Ryan Slater will take the mound for the Gators today, with first pitch currently slated for 6:30 p.m. Moving on to the court, it's a big week for Gators men's basketball. The team is gearing up to head to Indianapolis for the first round of the NCAA March Madness tournament. The team just returned from Nashville as they competed in the 2024 SEC tournament. The Gators made it all the way to the final round, but were ultimately defeated by the Auburn Tigers. Unfortunately, sophomore sensation Micah Hanlogden went down with a fractured leg in just the opening minutes of the final. As a team known for its offensive rebounding, the absence of a 7-1 center was profound. For some squads, it can be hard to recenter and find the team's rhythm again. But from the sounds of it, these Gators are amped and ready to rock and roll.
We just clicked at the right time in Nashville. I think a lot of people didn't expect us to just do that big run that we just had. But I think that going into March Madness, I feel like it just gave us a lot of confidence.
The Gators do have some time as they don't take the court until Friday at 4:30 p.m. in Indianapolis. Now, as for who Florida will be playing in round 1, that has yet to be determined. The first 4 take the court tonight and tomorrow in Dayton, Ohio. Starting off, Wagner takes on Howard at 6:40 p.m., followed by Colorado State versus Virginia at 9:10. Tomorrow is when Gator fans really want to be locked in. It starts with Grambling versus Montana State at 6:40, but the big matchup is Colorado versus Boise State at 9:10. The Gators will play the winner of that game on Friday in their tournament opener. And to ensure that you at home are staying in the loop with the madness of March, I will be part of the team heading to Indianapolis to provide coverage throughout the weekend, so you won't miss a thing. All right, moving on to Florida softball. The number 10 Gators are taking the road to face Florida Gulf Coast University tomorrow in Fort Myers. The team is coming off a 2-game series win against Indiana over the weekend. The Gators marked their 16th shutout of the year after they defeated the Hoosiers 10-0 in 5 innings on Sunday. Upcoming opponent Florida Gulf Coast is on a 4-game winning streak and sits at 3-1 in its conference. As the team is 2-1 on the road, they seem to do pretty well on foreign ground. So this might be an unexpected hurdle for the top 10 Gator team. First pitch is at 5 p.m. tomorrow in Fort Myers. And one final note, Florida track and field athlete Parker Valby was named the 2024 NCAA Division I Women's Runner of the Year for the 2024 indoor track and field season. Keep in mind, she already received the National Athlete of the Year for cross country. Gator track and field is on a roll.
So it's funny you're wrapping with track because today we had a very heated discussion about which one of us would win in a 40-yard dash.
Well, I think it's probably between me and Reighan, and I think we'll put it to the test maybe in Indianapolis.
Okay, let's do it.
With March Madness coverage right down the court. We'll go for it.
I got you.
All right, sounds good.
Guys, you're counting me out here. I'm kind of fast.
Okay,
Sorry.
we gotta
but
go
how
for
much
the
of a head
second,
start do you think we would need to beat Parker Valby in a race?
She would have to give me the whole track.
The whole thing.
Good 10 minutes.
A lot. Before we go, one last check on the weather.
Well, we have a beautiful week ahead of us. We can see those temperatures are really going to be warming up on Thursday, giving us a nice springtime feel. We do have some showers on Friday helping to cool us down. Also with the cold front meeting us on Friday afternoon at 71 degrees. We're going to be having steady for Saturday and Sunday. Beautiful next work week at 85 degrees.
Thank you for joining us. We're back here tomorrow for another edition of First at 5.
But your North Central Florida news is always on at WUFT.org and on all of our social media platforms. Have a good night.